Hi, this is Mavis the meteorologist talking to you now. I hope you're having a good day today. I sure am. Today we are going to do something a bit different. I'm going to explain the things I say to you every day, starting with weather fronts and air masses. An air mass is a body of air with horizontally uniform temperature, humidity, and pressure. It moves around, and there are many different types of air masses. There are continental air masses, which are dry and form on land. And there are also maritime air masses that are moist air masses that form above water. There are different ways of characterizing air masses, too. For example, temperature. These three ways of classifying air masses have to do with temperature. There can be polar air masses. They form and are cold, usually forming a ways away from the equator. And there are also tropical air masses. These are warm and form usually near the equator. There are also Arctic air masses that form near the poles and are extremely cold. You can combine these two ways of characterizing air masses and make names of different air masses. For example, if an air mass forms over water and is cold, but not extremely cold, that would be a maritime polar air mass. And there are symbols for all these ways of characterizing air masses. That air mass, the maritime polar one, would be lowercase m, capital P. The symbols are polar equals capital P, Arctic is capital A, tropical is capital T, and maritime is lowercase m, and continental lowercase c. As you can see, maritime and continental are lowercase, and polar, Arctic, and tropical are uppercase. The air masses all bring different weather. The maritime polar brings fog, rain, and cool temperatures. The maritime tropical air masses bring hot, humid weather in summer, but in winter it brings heavy rain and snow. Now let's move on to fronts. Fronts are the forward edge of an advancing air mass. There are also many different types of fronts. There are cold, warm, stationary, and occluded fronts. The cold fronts occur when a polar air mass runs into a tropical air mass. They are shown with a blue line with spikes on it. The weather they bring is rain, and it is cooler and sometimes thunderstorms. The warm fronts occur when a warm air mass replaces a cold air mass. They usually bring warm temperatures and rain. The occluded fronts occur when a cold front catches up with a warm front, and they look like this. They bring cloudiness and precipitation, and a stationary front occurs when a warm air and cold air are on each other, but not moving. As you can see, it looks like the warm and cold front symbols have combined. They bring clouds and precipitation, and if a stationary front stays for too long, there can be flooding. That's all about fronts. Now we will talk about a few different cities and their weather, starting with Chicago, Illinois. Right now, Chicago is cool at a temperature of 53 degrees for the high, and the low is 44 degrees, and it's cloudy with a little sun. The wind is blowing north-northeast at 10 miles per hour. The chance of precipitation is 10%. In Charlotte, North Carolina, the high for today is 84 and the low is 63. It is mostly cloudy with a 20% chance of precipitation. The wind is blowing north-northwest at 5 miles per hour. In New York, the weather is partly cloudy. The low is 57 degrees and there is a 20% chance of rain. And winds are going at 11 miles per hour west-northwest. In New Orleans, there will be a thunderstorm early tonight. Right now, it is 84 degrees, and the low is 73 degrees. There is a 60% chance of rain, and the wind is blowing 6 miles per hour southwest. In Dallas, Texas, there are going to be scattered thunderstorms. It is currently 79 degrees and the low is 70 degrees. There is a 50% chance of rain and the winds are blowing at 12 miles per hour south-southeast. Here at my meteorologist station, we also do predictions of weather. In 5 days, on Sunday, in St. Petersburg, Florida, there will be thunderstorms at night. The high will be 90 degrees and the low 76 degrees. There will be a 60% chance of rain, and the wind will be going around 11 miles per hour east. And in a week in Santa Fe, New Mexico, it will be partly cloudy and a high of 69 and a low of 47 degrees. There will be a 0% chance of rain, and the wind will go around 13 miles per hour southwest. In the U.S. right now, the highest temperature is 88 in Florida, and the lowest temperature is 36 in Nebraska. There are also these two things meteorologists call high and low pressure. This is how much pressure is in the atmosphere. This is lower in mountain ranges and higher at sea level. This is measured with a thing called a barometer. On a weather map, high pressure is shown with a blue H, and low pressure is shown with a red L. High pressure brings clear skies and stable conditions, whereas low pressure brings changeable conditions, cloudy skies, and precipitation. Another thing we use here at my meteorologist station is called a Doppler map. And here is what one looks like. As you can see, there is light rain all in Illinois and a little bit harder rain around Georgia. There is also light rain around Nevada, Idaho, California, Utah, and Oregon. There is also some harder rain in some of Texas and South Carolina. Some light rain is also spreading through Iowa and Nebraska. And that's all the time we have for today. I hope you have enjoyed this episode of Mavis the Meteorologist. And I also hope you understand more about weather. Thank you and goodbye. Hey, yay!